Yelling. All right, one last call from Sharp. I'll take a break and talk to Debbie, the pet lady, and find out why she's leaving the show.
Hey, Howard, I wanted to ask you about your buddy Chris Rock. Last year, it was an interview, and he said the Tea Party was insanely racist and violent without a stitch of evidence or any proof or even an arrest he could point to. So Jason Mattera, who's a conservative black.
I know all about this.
I saw that video, yeah.
So how come
First of all, let me tell you something, Sharp.
Okay.
I saw that video. I felt so bad for Chris Rock. You know, as someone in the public eye, this guy's backstage somewhere. This kid who's evidently written a book. He's selling a book.
Mm-hmm. And whatever.
And the book's about hypocrisy, how, people who are famous are hypocrites. As if Chris Rock is a hypocrite. So he goes, so here's another, he's using this tape to promote his book. And he goes up to Chris Rock, who's in the middle of doing something. And God knows what.
It looks like he's backstage at a comedy
concert
club
or a comedy club, and he goes up, and there's cameras all of a sudden thrown in his face, and the guy goes, "Hey, Chris, take a picture with me." So Chris, looks around because he wants to make sure it's a safe situation, because it looks crazy, the whole thing with the camera. And he turns around and he takes the picture with the guy. As he's walking away, the guy goes, Chris, why are you racist about the Tea Party? I don't know exactly what he says. You attack.
He asked him to explain his comments about the Tea Party.
Right. And he's like, who is this guy? Wait a second, Sharp. You've never been in this situation. I have.
I've been on the other end of it.
Some fucking guy starts in about the Tea Party with you. You don't know what the fuck's coming next. It's not a press conference. A guy who's famous doesn't have to answer all of your... Hold it. A guy who's famous isn't obligated to answer every question the public asks him.
You're absolutely right, Howard. And all he had to say was that, and please move out of my way. Instead,
he should handle it.
His first reaction is to push the camera away.
Because the guy wouldn't back off. He took the picture with him.
Watch the tape again, please.
I watched it, Sharp. I didn't like what was going down.
He never asked them to move. He just slipped out, man. And he should be able to stand behind a statement.
All right, whatever, Sharp. I believe that the guy...
Please just go watch the video.
I watched it. I saw it twice.
I had a different impression of it, by the way, in the sense of that we know Chris, and Chris just isn't that kind of guy. I mean, I don't know him like he's my best friend.
Right.
I got the impression that that's not the first time that guy had tried to get a hold of Chris, and that Chris had, it was like that time, but Chris was like, fuck it, I don't need you anymore.
Right. The guy was at the edge, I could tell.
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't recognize him. It didn't seem like
Sharp, you don't know what was going on.
I don't, but again, Howard.
All right, you know what? So Chris won't run for president, okay? Because he doesn't handle this impromptu press conference properly.
That's fine, and that's fine. He could have, my point is...
He should be perfect. He'll be like you, Sharp, perfect.
Howard, I'm not perfect, Howard. All I'm saying is, ask the person to move out of your way instead of pushing them as your first reaction.
The guy
especially after you're claiming somebody else's violence.
You're seeing 10 seconds.
Your first reaction is to be violent.
All right, okay, Sharp, thank you. I agree.
Thanks, Howard.
I agree with everything you said, okay?
I don't need you to agree with me.
All right, I'll go watch the tape again.
First reaction, violence.
I don't know if that was his first
He could have
reaction.
asked them to move. He could have asked them to move. He never asked them to move.
Okay.
If he asked them to move and Mattera doesn't move, then punch him in the face.
All right, Sharp. Okay, thank you. Right. All right, thank you. I see it a different way.
He could have done anything.
He could have, but sometimes people
everybody
are on
could have, and sometimes they
And
don't.
this guy could have, and this guy didn't have to shove a camera in his face either.
Nobody shoved the camera in anybody's face.
Oh, no, not at all. All right, Sharp.
Howard.
I didn't see it that way. I defend Chris Rock. I defend him.
You're not pushing camera people, Howard.
I don't push anybody.
Neither should Chris Rock, Howard.
Okay, thank you, Sharp. I disagree.
What's that?
I don't know what led up to this.
Okay, but again, look at the tape. Please, tell me where Chris Rock was reasonable.
They're hanging on out backstage. I told you. The guy he graciously takes a picture with him. Then he turns him around and is not even I don't know what's going on. And then he's like on top of him with camera crews going, Tea Party. And the guy said,
he asked him to explain his comments.
Right. It didn't look like a place where you would be sitting there ambushing somebody. It was an ambush.
He could have said that.
He could have done a lot of things, but he shouldn't have been ambushed. It's rude.
But
I gotta go. Your fucking voice annoys me. Oh, my God.
You might attack him when you say.
Oh, my God. It was that kind of thing. Hey, Tea Party. It's like, you know what, pussy? Fucking here. Take your camera and get the fuck out of here. It wasn't even like a gangster move. It was just like enough already. It seemed like he had been pushed.
He'd had it.
Yeah. I don't defend any. Of course, Chris Rock, I'm sure even if he thinks it through, would say, yeah, I probably could have handled it.
I could have handled it better.
Of course. But when you're backstage and you're feeling like something weird's going down, you don't know. You know, it's a weird feeling. And don't tell me everyone listening to this hasn't had some weird situation where maybe they didn't handle it perfectly, but it just seemed like your fucking rights are being invaded somehow. And it's true. I probably have a pretty level head. Like when I'm in a really shitty situation, I'll say, okay, calm down now and you'll handle it when you're calmer. But, you know, you don't know. In the heat of the moment, you don't know.
Especially in an enclosed area, if you can't get away.
Did you get that feeling too?
Yeah,
No,
I
okay.
watched it twice.
Right. Me too. That would be 4 times between the two of us. All right, let me do this. I'll take a break. Of course, we have to do that.